This is music, and this is an important lesson. Always speed between the lines. Welcome to another First Impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. This time I have a good handful of CDs. Very thrashy too. Starting with Gamma Bomb. This is Speed Between the Lines. The hype sticker says, the Irish Crazy Gang are back with a new monster of an album. And also this one here, Untouchable Glory, also by Gamma Bomb. So musically, we're dealing with quite fast thrash metal, crossover thrash even. Some people have described them as a pizza thrash band. Quite short songs, but they don't feel short. Each song is kind of a musical journey, despite the fact that it's only a couple of minutes. You have lots of cool riffs and fast parts, and more melody than you might expect, and more straight up heavy metal than you might expect too. So it's kind of crossover with, I don't know, speed metal thrown in. Great vocals. The vocalist is really unique and very recognizable, and he's not afraid to do some just old fashioned heavy metal screams. Musically, this is awesome. Lyrically and aesthetically, they go for kind of a nostalgic um, approach. They draw a lot on pop culture, like trashy pop culture from the 80s, early 90s, 70s, and the 60s as well. So this one, for example, Speak Between the Lines, that's obviously a pun on Read Between the Lines. They're inspired by trashy pulp fiction from the 70s and 60s. And one thing that's really cool is that in this booklet, they've put together a graphic for every single song as if it were a trashy pulp fiction book. And I just like that they kind of put some effort into the aesthetic side of things too. I have seen this artwork before somewhere. I think I have a movie, trashy B movie with this artwork. And although it's kind of a fun, nostalgic pop culture thing, there's a song here called Alt Reich. So they do have some social commentary every now and then. Kurt Russell is my favorite song on this album because there's nothing more gratifying than hearing a thrash metal vocalist just scream Kurt Russell, right? And this one here, Untouchable Glory, is obviously inspired by, you know, trashy movies from the 80s and 70s and 60s. And they've done the same thing. They've put together a graphic for every song, but this time it's a movie poster graphic, which I think is also pretty cool. Just like I said, I just like that extra effort they put into the visual side of things here. So that is great. Really enjoy this. Of course, there are no lyrics, but you can find them online. Some of their other albums, they have lyrics in the booklets instead of these graphics. But yeah, awesome thrash metal, good fun. More thrash. Palisade, a circle of silent screams. And this is a dive bomb reissue. Thrash metal for sure, awesome guitar tone, but you also have speed metal thrown in to the extent that it makes sense to distinguish between thrash and speed metal. You have straight up heavy metal, you have some power metal, even like old school power metal, not the wimpy kind. Clean singing, great songs across the board. It's very, this mix of different metal genres makes it interesting. And so it's not just fast all the way. You got like different things going on. Quite enjoyable thrash metal release. there's not as much speed metal in this one as on I forget the title, the one with the house on it, but it's still in the same vein, and it's great if you like thrash metal and you don't mind a little bit of melody and a little bit of basically power thrash. Holosade, especially this one here, definitely worth checking out. Very enjoyable to me at least. Now here we have the Odd Man Out, Runar by Grieve. I think it's a Danish one-man project, doom metal, but it's kind of different because you have your guitars and some keyboards, guttural vocals, some sound effects like the wind in the background, and that's it. No bass, no drums. So there's an element of drone doom to this. The guitars aren't super heavy though, so that's interesting too, but they mainly play doom metal style riffage, but then you just don't have the rhythm section. And there's the songs are quite long, and there's several stretches of the songs that are like spoken word, and you don't have the guitars, but you got like atmospheric sound effects and stuff. So it's quite artistic too in a way. So I think if you like kind of funeral doom, or if you like drone doom, or if you like death doom, like My Dying Bride at their most artistic, you might enjoy this one, but it is a challenging listen, especially if you're used to bass and drums and all that stuff. Now, this one here, Tales of Power by Leviathan, another Dive Bomb reissue. This is thrash metal with speed metal thrown in as well. But you also have like straight up heavy metal, and you even have some hard rock and blues rock and some punk thrown in. But the core is thrash metal. It's quite melodic, and I think this will appeal probably to fans of Anthrax. So they call themselves pro-aggressive thrash metal, or I think just pro-aggressive power metal, even power thrash, perhaps. Kind of makes sense. Kind of a pun on the aggression and sort of the meld of different genres. So it's kind of progressive. I wouldn't call it super progressive, but it's actually great. I really enjoy this. Just melodic thrash metal with lots of interesting things going on. And quite interesting vocals too. They might be a bit of an acquired taste. You have some bonus stuff as well, some bonus tracks from an EP, not an EP, from a demo, sorry, from '87. But yeah, great stuff. This album will offend some people because there's a song on here called "The Reich of Death." It's on the demo that obviously deals with some nasty stuff. And I did catch myself going, did he sing that? Um, so it will offend some people, just, so you're warned. But great stuff. Awesome album. Um, awesome thrash metal album for sure. And then there's this one here, Onwards Through the Fog, which is in the same vein, but they've slowed it down a little bit. Still thrashy enough for me to consider it kind of a thrash metal album. You have the same mix of genres as well, and it's it's good. I really enjoy this. It's a great song, especially a great album, but especially the song "Read My Lips." You also have some kind of punk stuff on here, blues rock, whatever, mixed in, and it all works. Again, maybe some challenging vocals, but I think it's cool. I really enjoy this as well. And then there's this one here, The Aggression Returns from '95. And this one also has the Sodomizing the Industry release, which I think was only out on cassette tape by the same band after they had to change their name to Scumbags. And this one is interesting too. There's a song on called I Hate You, which is an anti-racist song. So Obviously, the Reich of Death thing takes a look at, the atrocities of the Second World War, through a critical lens. But it will offend some people anyhow, so you're still warned. But this one has a punk song on it called "I Hate You," which is an anti-racist song. Um, and you do have some good heavy metal songs and power thrash songs, but they have slowed down. It has taken on this typical 90s metal. Things are a little bit weird. Um, some of it appeals to me, but some of it doesn't, if I'm being honest, but it's still decent. The Scumbags one is pretty much in the same vein, but you do have some pretty cool songs on that one too. Influential Insanity, and the first couple of songs are actually pretty cool. And the last song, Scumbags, which is actually also on the very first Leviathan I showed you, is pretty cool too. Uh, there is a cover version of Let There Be Rock, which is decent, but not as good in my opinion as the one that Onslaught did. But yeah, so this is decent. It's not as good, I think, as the two other ones, but it's interesting and it's nice to have these two as well as part of the collection, so you can kind of hear how their sound evolved and stuff. Um, but yeah, decent, but these two are, I think, great. So there you go, a bunch of thrash and then one kind of avant-garde doom metal thing. I think I think these are all worth checking out, so please go and check them out and see if you like them or if you don't like them. It's all good. Thanks for watching.